Indicator 5 looks at educational environments for school-age students with IEPs. The priority for educational environments should be in the mainstream classroom with typically developing peers. However, there are times and situations where students may be receiving their education outside the regular classroom, such as a quiet space with no other students or a special education classroom with other special education students. There are also occasions where students may be placed outside of their community school at a special purpose private school to receive their education. There are 3 groups for this indicator. 5A is the percentage of students educated inside the regular classroom over 80% of the day. 5B is the percentage of students educated inside the regular classroom less than 40% of the day. And 5C is the percentage of students educated in separate schools or other facilities. This year, there has been a change to this indicator. It now includes 5-year-olds who are in kindergarten. Previously, those students were included in the preschool environments indicator. This means we need to set a new baseline and new targets for all 3 parts of this indicator. 5A, the percentage of students in the regular classroom 80% or more of the day. There isn't a strong trend to speak of with this data, but there is a slight downward trend. We want to reverse this trend and start seeing an increase in the percentage. Future projections show a projected percentage of 55.03% for 2025, which is lower than our baseline. We'll want to see that trend reverse course and start increasing, and we'll need to decide on our targets based on this data. A 1% change equates to around 320 students. Our task is to determine if the target should be 57%, which is slightly higher than our baseline, or should the target be higher than 57%. 5B, the percent of students with disabilities inside the regular classroom less than 40% of the day. There isn't a strong trend, but there is a slight decrease. This is an outcome that we want to see decrease so that we have more students in a less restrictive educational environment and more students in the regular classroom. Future projections show a projected percentage of 10.32% for 2025, which is lower than our baseline. This downward direction is the direction we want to see the data moving in. Should the target be near or close to our 2025 projection of 10.32%, or should the target be lower than our 2025 projection? 5C, the percentage of students in separate schools and other placements outside of the regular classroom. For this indicator, we want to see the percentages decrease so that students are educated in more inclusive environments with typically developing peers. For the last 6-year stretch, we have been just above our target, but have not quite hit our target of 3.10%. We have also seen a slight upward trend, and we want to see a downward trend. Using the previous trend and new baseline, we see a future percentage projection of 3.88% for 2025. This is higher than our baseline, and we want to see these data reverse course and start decreasing. We need to decide what we want our targets to be based on these data. Our target needs to be lower than our baseline of 3.46%. Should the target be lower but close to our 2019 baseline of 3.46%, or should the target be even lower than our 2019 baseline, such as 3.10%? Targets must be ambitious but achievable, and the final target at the end of the 6-year period must reflect an improvement over the actual data from the baseline. Our task is to determine the targets for all 3 parts of Indicator 5 for the next 6 years. We need your input and want to hear from you. Please complete the survey for Indicator 5.